Most people don't understand this until the damage is already done. The relationship they defended the longest often becomes the one that wounds them the deepest. And that's what makes it so confusing. From an early age, we're taught that real love demands sacrifice. That if something truly matters, you don't walk away when it gets hard. You endure, you fight, you stay committed even when it hurts. But there is a truth many believers wrestle with for years before accepting it. Not every relationship is meant to be preserved. Not every bond is meant to last. Sometimes what feels like losing someone is actually God stepping in to keep you from losing who you are. There is a profound difference between standing firm in a relationship God is nurturing and desperately clinging to one God is trying to remove. And the hardest part is this: God rarely makes these moments obvious. He doesn't usually send a dramatic warning. He doesn't shout instructions from the sky. Instead, he whispers. He nudges. He allows subtle disruptions. Moments that feel confusing at first, but make complete sense later often, after the damage has already been done. Today, we're going to talk about 5 ways God often signals that someone is not meant to remain in your life. And tragically, many people only recognize these signs after they are emotionally depleted, spiritually worn down, and deeply hurt. The first sign is this: your peace begins to fade. This is usually the earliest signal God gives. And ironically, it's the one most people dismiss. It doesn't always appear as chaos or constant arguments. Sometimes it shows up as a quiet inner tension you can't quite explain. On the outside, everything may look fine, but internally, something feels unsettled, off balance, unresolved. You try to pray it away. You tell yourself you're imagining things. You label it overthinking, but deep down, your spirit feels restless. Colossians 3:15 tells us to let the peace of Christ rule our hearts. That word "rule" is important. In its original meaning, it refers to an umpire, the one who makes the final decision. God's peace functions as your spiritual referee. When it's present, it signals alignment. When it disappears, it often signals warning. You can share history with someone. You can feel attraction. You can even appear compatible on paper. But if God's peace is absent, something essential is missing. Many people mistake emotional intensity for love. They confuse anxiety with excitement. They label confusion as passion. But God's presence does not create inner turmoil. His presence brings clarity, stability, and quiet assurance. When God is in a relationship, peace tends to follow. When He isn't, peace is often the first thing to leave. The second sign is repeated resistance. No matter how hard you try, you attempt to move forward, but progress never sticks. Plans fall apart. Important conversations lead to misunderstanding. Every attempt to build something solid seems to hit a wall. You tell yourself, every relationship has obstacles. And that's true. But there is a difference between normal challenges and spiritual resistance. Proverbs 16:9 reminds us that while people plan their path, the Lord directs their steps. God never promised to bless every plan you make. He promised to guide your direction. And sometimes that guidance leads away, not closer. When God closes a door, many people assume it's a test. So they push harder, pray longer, fight more intensely. But faith is not forcing open doors God has already shut. Sometimes what feels like persistence is actually resistance against protection. That constant exhaustion you feel, the emotional strain, the spiritual heaviness, may be your soul recognizing a battle you are never meant to fight. The third sign appears through wise voices around you. This is one of the most difficult signs to accept, because emotions have a way of making us defensive. But Proverbs 11:14 tells us that safety is found in wise counsel. God often uses people who genuinely love you as instruments of protection. Family members may notice patterns you overlook. Friends may sense emotional distance or inconsistency. Spiritual mentors may recognize misalignment in values or faith. Meanwhile, you may focus on who the person could become. But relationships are not built on potential. They are built on patterns. You are not dating someone's future intentions. You are experiencing their current choices. Not every opinion deserves weight. But when multiple trustworthy, godly voices begin expressing the same concerns, it may not be coincidence. It may be confirmation. The fourth sign is subtle, but deeply dangerous. You begin to lose yourself. This doesn't happen all at once. It happens through quiet compromises. You start neglecting your spiritual life because it causes tension. You distance yourself from certain people to avoid conflict. You excuse behaviors that once clearly crossed your boundaries. Slowly, your growth stalls. Your passion fades. Your spiritual sensitivity dulls. 2 Corinthians 6:14 speaks about alignment, not judgment, but direction. The right relationship should strengthen your walk with God, not weaken it. It should support your calling, not silence it. The person God intends for you will never require you to shrink your faith, your convictions, or your identity just to maintain peace. If your closeness with God has declined, and your relationship is a primary reason, that may be God gently pointing you toward the exit. No relationship is worth sacrificing your connection with God. The fifth sign is one of the most painful and one of the clearest. You feel profoundly alone, even while being together. You share space, but not connection. You speak, but feel unheard. You express vulnerability and receive indifference. Ecclesiastes reminds us that two are meant to support one another, to lift each other up. But what happens when the person meant to strengthen you becomes the source of your emotional collapse? Loneliness within a relationship cuts deeper than loneliness alone, because love is supposed to bring safety, comfort, and connection. Sometimes God allows that loneliness to intensify not as punishment, but as clarity. He lets you feel the emptiness so you can recognize that staying is costing you more than leaving ever would. God would rather see you single and whole than attached and broken. When He removes someone from your life, it is not always about loss. Often, it is about preparation. He is making room for something healthier, something aligned, something that will not require you to betray who He created you to be. If you recognized yourself in any of these signs, don't panic. Pause. Reflect. Trust. God's no is never meant to destroy you. It is meant to redirect you. Every closed door is protection from a future you cannot yet see. Jeremiah 29:11 reminds us that God's plans are for hope, not harm. Sometimes protection looks like separation. Sometimes love looks like removal. Sometimes mercy looks like heartbreak today, so healing can come tomorrow. If your life feels unstable right now, if peace has vanished, if doors keep closing, consider this possibility. God is not abandoning you. He may be rescuing you. Trust that He sees what you cannot. Trust that His timing is precise. Trust that what He is preparing will never require you to compromise your soul. The person meant for you will not confuse your spirit. They will confirm your direction. They will not compete with God's voice in your life. They will reinforce it. And if this message resonated with you, share it with someone who may be struggling silently. You never know when God might use your voice to answer someone else's prayer. Remember this: God does not remove people to harm you. He removes them because He loves you enough to protect the future He designed for you. And God has never been wrong about your life.